Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today we're getting into a whole bunch of Sydney Grace single eyeshadows that I have not been able to get into since I purchased them during the Christmas and July sale. I've tried the palettes but haven't got into the single shadows, so I do want to do this video for you showing you a variety of looks, hopefully as many as I can get to. We have some really, nice neutral shades, but some fun ones as well. So we're going to get into a variety of makeup styles. I just want to show you real quick the groupings of eyeshadows that I'm kind of looking at for my different looks that I'm going to show you. The first grouping is this sort of 6-pack of neutral-ish shadows. We do have a mauve, kind of lavenderish shade. I don't know how, I think it's more lavender in the middle there. But some of these have a little bit of sparkle, but mostly mattes. I haven't used that one that's like got a big chunk out of it. I actually dropped a lot of these shadows in a palette, which was really a bummer, and a lot of it got into my carpet. So this is gonna be like our first couple of looks. My second group of shadows, a little bit bolder with this shimmery pink color, but all of these are shimmer. We're gonna play with a couple of these shades. This white shade shifts pink. We have a little bit of purple and a little bit of a pinky shimmery shade right there. And then the third look is probably gonna be the most sort of party look. We have a couple of multi-chromes here and some just interesting sort of duochrome shades here in a slightly kind of a green shimmery shade. So really interesting colors, a lot to work with there. So that's kind of the idea for this video. So I did a whole video of swatches with these shadows when I first got them from the Christmas and July sale, but I'm gonna swatch them again just sort of right before I do each eye look so you guys can get a sense of whether you want to keep watching or not. So I'm going to start with the mattes first with the neutral sort of look we're going for. And this shade is Eastern Rise, and it's a pigmented brown. The other brown shade I have is a bit warmer. This is Mom Ride. Again, very easy, very pigmented. This one is Predictable, and it's a pinky brown. Sorry about the swatch. It's using my thumb. Next we have the lavender shade, and this is Regal. Super pretty. I love a nice lighter matte shade. And that's it for our mattes. Now let's show you some shimmers, and both of these, so Paris is new to Sydney Grace, it's a new one. Peace, I'm not sure exactly if it's new or not. Paris, kind of a warm shimmer shade, and Peace, I believe a bit more in the neutral to cooler tone shade, and it looks like it has a bit of a shift to it, or kind of a base color going on. Really interesting shade, Peace. It's got some light brown underneath it with like a kind of a cooler tone shimmer on top. I think I'm gonna be happy with this look. It's got a little bit of a different tone to it with the lavender, but we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna start with Regal, and we're just gonna go on the lid, and I have the ABH eye primer on, but you really, with Sydney Grace, I've done plenty of eye looks without putting primer on my eyelids. If you don't believe in primer, concealer works, or just kind of powdering down your eyelids makes a lot of sense. I know some of you may be scared of a lavender type of shade, but you can see it, even though it's you know, a color. It is very subdued. It's not like in your face, matte, bold color. It is soft. I'm gonna pop in Predictable, which is this pinky brownish shade in the crease. You know, some of you may be tempted to put something cooler with the lavender shade Regal, and I totally get that, but I think kind of this warmer shade look has a nice contrast against the lavender. I'm gonna go in with Eastern Rise, kind of a deeper brown, and just do a little swirling around the edge. So if you wanted to stop here, you could, just doing a little bit more blending. 3 shades, plenty for just a everyday eye look, especially when you have different tones, you know, variations in deepness and color, and they're all mattes, so I think mattes go really well together. You don't always need a shimmer, but of course we're gonna put one. I'm gonna go under the eye, and I'm gonna go in with Regal and see how that looks. I don't know why, but sometimes lighter colors just get lost when I put them under the eye. You just can barely see them, especially with mascara on top. Especially kind of like this kind of muted pastel shade. It can get a little bit lost on the other eye, but I don't mind doing a little bit of layering. So the only shade of matte I really didn't use is Mom Ride, and this is probably the warmest shade out of the bunch. I think I'm okay leaving it out. It's this guy right here. But now we have a couple shimmers, one warmer, one not as warm. I'm just gonna do a little bit of Paris and see what this looks like. So I'm totally fine with the shade. I just don't know where to put it and also use Peace. So I'm just gonna use Peace on the other side. Same location. So I think I lost a bit of Regal when I added too many eyeshadows together. Yeah, I think Peace is gonna be the best option for this look. So I'm gonna go back over this side, cover up Paris. If you guys ever do that, you just change your mind on an eyeshadow and just cover it up. Alright, I'm gonna go back in with Regal because we got a little bit disappearing here. Alright, I'm liking this look. You know, it's pretty basic for the most part, but I like the interesting mix of cool and warm tones. I am a fan. Eyeliner goes. I'm just gonna use a black. This is the Pat McGrath Extreme Black Pencil Eyeliner. Alright, I'm pulling out an old, it's not really that old, I got it as part of the Allure Beauty Box. This is the Tarte Gifted Mascara. I used to use this in the past, and I liked it, but now that I'm using it now, I don't like it as much. I think it's the brush. I just can't get it to go through my lashes very easily. I don't know, it just feels like a struggle. But it's a pretty new tube, so I want to use the variety of mascaras that I have open right now. Alright guys, this is the final look for the first set of shadows. I really like it. I'm not using an inner corner shade like I normally do because I wanted to keep this, you know, sticking with the new shades, and I don't unfortunately have a whole lot of inner corner shades. But you know, I'm fine with this. It's a little bit more work appropriate and just classic beauty kind of deal. And with the bold lip, I don't feel like I need anything else with this. Yeah, I'm a fan. As far as the favorite shades from this bunch, definitely the standout shades for me are Peace, which is this one, and Predictable. They're both kind of a pinky brown, and this one is a bit shifty, which I always like a shifty shadow. The rest of them are great. I think this one, because if it's a pastel, it gets a little bit lost, so you may have to reapply it, so just a note on that one. So this is look 1. Second look, we're going to be focusing on some very pink and shimmery shades. There's no mattes in this one, so it'll be an interesting look. But I think it's going to be fun. Can't wait to try all these shades. So I'm super excited to try out that bright pink shade, but we're going to save that one for last. We're going in with Red Mist, and this is a white shade that shifts to pink. And you know, it's not going to show up super well on me, but you can, I think you can see that pink shift. But it's kind of one of those, you see it, you don't see it, and then you see it shades. You kind of have to move around a little bit. Next, I'm going to show you the Ballet. This is one of the new shades Sydney Grace came out with. And they're single eyeshadows. This is kind of a interesting pink, peachy, coppery almost shade, very pretty. Then we have Go For It, and this is kind of a cooler taupey brownish pinky shade. Very interesting, very pretty, very nice. And next I have Winter Garden. I believe this is one of their best sellers. This is a purple shifty shade. You can see that duochrome there, very classic duochrome, super pretty. Forbidden Love. This looks like it would be a matte, but it's actually like a satin shade. I think it swatches kind of shimmery, but I think it's pretty close to a matte as you're gonna get. Because I don't see, I mean, there is a sheen to it, but I didn't, haven't tried this yet on my eye, but I imagine it's not gonna look super shimmery. It's gonna look very close to a matte. So if any of you like that have the shade don't feel like it's a matte, let me know your thoughts why. Because I think it's pretty close to being a matte, and I wouldn't complain that Sydney Grace doesn't have enough matte colors. I think their formula really shines in their shimmer pressed pigments. I like their stuff. So those are the 5 shades there. I think I'm gonna do one warmer eye and one cooler eye. I'm not gonna use the pink in both. I think this is a good dupe for Pat McGrath's Divine Rose 2 pink shade, so I just want to try it real quick side by side. The shade right here. I think they have slightly different tones. I think Pat's a little bit more satiny, and it looks like not as opaque. Yeah, she's definitely got more shine, but I think it's a pretty close dupe. It's a bit of a richer pink, but I think it's not bad. I mean, Some of you may prefer Sydney Grace's shade, that it's more opaque and not as kind of see-through, shimmery. So yeah, just wanted to do that quick comparison. Let's do the cooler toned eye first. I'm gonna go grab some primer. I'll be back. Got the primer on. Cool tone look first. We're gonna go with Go For It in Winter Garden. Plus, I'm gonna do a little bit of red mist to highlight. So this is gonna be an all shimmery shade just to give sort of a, I don't know, a different kind of a look for those of you that like all shimmer eye looks. You may appreciate this. Now I'm starting with the sort of taupey pinky shade to kind of create some depth. I think just right away you'll see how easily this one applies. Like if you wanted to just do like a single shade look, this shade is probably gonna be a good option for you. Now this is one of those shades because it's kind of shifty, like in the sun it's gonna look nice and light, and then the shadows it's a little bit deeper, right? So you don't want to go like, I kind of went from lash to brow with this one because this brush is probably a little bit too big, but you could certainly do a smaller area. Let's do Winter Garden on the lid. This is that purple duochrome. Just a bit of a dramatic pop, and the fingers really amp up the volume on that. Yeah, I like this look. I mean, any of these shadows, either one could stand on its own. I'm gonna go underneath with Go For It. Just because I'm using it as kind of a shader shade. And then we're going to do red mist on the inner corner and brow bone. Alright, so this is a very ethereal kind of a look. It is certainly one to, you know, just a soft shimmer. You could certainly use plenty of mattes with this. I just kind of wanted to stay within my color families. I'm using a little bit of eyeliner from Chantecaille. This is the Luster Glide eyeliner in Black Forest. So it's green, dark green. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this look. It was super fast. I think the best part about shimmery sort of formulas is they apply really quickly. Usually it doesn't require, you know, that much blending and shaping. It's just easy, easy, easy. Great, we just do a little bit of mascara on top of my other mascara here. Alright, we got one half of the look done. And then the other side is going to be a bit more warmer toned with the pink. Super excited. And this is the Pat McGrath Lost Gloss in Divine Rose. Going a little bit more dramatic in the eyes, so I wanted to tone down my lip color. Alright, I'm going to start in with the bold shade and just kind of play with it and see what it does. I'm going to keep it close to my lash line at first. So Forbidden Love. So it's definitely a warm, bright, sort of hot pink. I like the tone of it. I like how I don't have to use a lot of product and I get a lot of pigment. I mean, some of you are gonna see the sheen, you're gonna see that it's not matte and automatically not want to use it. But I don't know why, it's such a great shade. Super pretty, super easy to use. I'm gonna go ahead and put it underneath my eye as well. I mean, so I did another video using NYX products and I was using the Mystic Petals palette and it had some pinks in it, and I did kind of a similar look with mostly pink, and it took so much longer to apply than what I just did. Like, it was not easy. You know, I think there's a lot of affordable palettes under $10 that work really well, and then that was a $10 palette, had a lot of shades, but it just didn't perform how I wanted it to. So I did get a little bit of dusting, probably because I was applying underneath my eye. So I got some eyeshadow underneath. Alright, so I cleaned up the fallout. Now I'm going to use this warm shade, the Ballet, kind of as a shimmery, sort of enhancing shade, outer portion of my eye. I think this is kind of a different shade to pair with pink. I think a lot of people just pair pink on pink on pink, but I kind of wanted to do something warm, and I needed to try this shade out. It does look a little bit orangey on camera, but in person it's a little more subdued, but it's definitely in that peach family. Very nice. I think it does sort of enhance the pink shade in a different sort of way. We're gonna go back in with red mist on the inner corner. Light pink. And we're gonna leave it at that. Very gorgeous shades. I'm gonna do a little bit of liquid eyeliner from Pat McGrath. Right, this is the final second pair of looks. I think it's very different, it's interesting. I love Sydney Grace and what all they do with their eyeshadows. Alright, these are the shades I'm using for look number 3. We have some multi-chromes here and just some amazing sort of duochrome super shimmery shades. So this is going to be a fun look. Okay, third look, let's do some swatches. This is Purple Sky. Interesting shade here. Definitely doesn't look purple, but it kind of shifts to purple. But it's got a lot of green, blue going on, very different shade. It's a deep one, right? So worries me a little bit. Next we have Red Chameleon, and this shade is actually in the new Mel Thompson collaboration palette, Tiny Marvels, and I believe it goes by a different name for whatever reason, but it's the same shade, and she does mention that in her video. But Red Chameleon, a brown to shifting to green duochrome, really pretty. Then we have Cadet, and this is kind of a green, interesting shade here. Kind of an army green, but it has shimmer to it, very different. Then we have a multi-chrome here. This is Chameleonaire. Very pretty green. And last but not least, we have another multichrome. This is Beauregard. It's kind of a bluish, looking very violet in this light, but it's actually kind of shifts to a warmer purple. Interestingly enough, you can't really see it though too well on the camera. See, it's a little bit warmer, and then so interesting shades here. I think I'm gonna try my best to use all of them. I think I want to pair these together and incorporate these together somehow. We're gonna figure it out. I do want to do some NYX glitter primer on top of my other primer, just because I'm playing around with multichromes. And now I have green all over my eye. I should remember to like clean off my hands before I do stuff like that. Oh well, we're gonna make this the green eye. So that kind of starts things off. We're just gonna start with Chameleon Air where my primer's still wet. I mean, how can you beat that green? Such a lovely color. I mean, if you like a bold green, holy crap. This is why I need makeup wipes. I don't use them on my face, but I just need them for cleanup. Alright, so we're going to be building around this bold shade here. I want to go in with Cadet, and I'm going to use a brush just because we don't want to do everything with our fingers. Ooh, these color pair really nicely together. Cadet and Chameleon Air, two winners. I mean, look at that. Gorgeous, right? So good. So pretty, these two together. Love it already. This is one of my favorite looks so far. I do want to do a little bit of red chameleon just because it has those green and brown tones. This eye look. I think red chameleon air probably would have gone best on its own sort of eye look. I think it's probably a little much for the outside of all of this, but I think it's a nice sort of earthy contrast to the green. I don't think it doesn't go. Yeah, I really like this look. All right, I want to move quickly onto the other eye before I completely, finish it up with eyeliner and mascara, just because my light is running low. I'm gonna start with, again, the multichrome. We're gonna do a little bit of glitter primer on the outside. Beauregard. Oh boy. I love a purple. And I love that this is violet. It is very deep though. This is gonna be a very deep eye because we're going into purple sky as well. This is a very smoky kind of gray casty shade in this light with a lot of sparkle. I think it's not bad pair with Beauregard. I think It's actually some very nice tones together. This is definitely not like an everyday eye for me, but I think it is. I don't know why, but it just kind of reminds me of like medieval, like the purple and the iron and like that gunmetal color. I don't know. I don't know why I think that. I'm gonna do the same sort of shades underneath my eye. I need to do a little bit of cleanup over here. I think some of the glue kind of got a little out of hand, but I mean, both of these looks I really like. They're a bit dramatic, but I'm okay with it. I'm just gonna do a little bit of liquid eyeliner for both. Just because when you have such like a rich eyeshadow, I think it's just easier to top it off with liquid than trying to get your pencil on top of it. This is the final look. Let me do a little bit of lip gloss. Actually, this is the NYX Filler Instinct. I use this on the first look. I think this goes with a very bold eye, or you could do a very nude lip. All right, that's it. I like these shades. Literally all of them. I don't have a problem with any of them at all. I'm a huge fan of Sydney Grace. I think this video showed you like all of the textures available with this brand. They have, you know, some great palettes out there as well, some smaller ones, some larger ones. I can't wait to really try Tiny Marvels. I didn't buy it, it's already sold out, just because I have so much eyeshadow I feel like I need to use, but you know, of course another palette will come out and I'll get it. But I like that one. I just feel like a lot of I have a lot of Sydney Grace eyeshadows for one. But two, the only shade that really appealed to me was that matte light green shade. Otherwise, I mean, I like the packaging, I like it. I think it would be an amazing palette to try for anyone that hasn't had the opportunity to use Sydney Grace yet. I think that's a really great purchase. A lot of those shades look very wearable. The formula is good, obviously, but as you can see, there's some really fun shades with Sydney Grace. You can see it in this look, some party looks, some everyday looks if this is your thing. A lot of options for different tastes. I mean, I really can't say I didn't like any of the shadows at all. And I can just make that comment about the brand and the eyeshadows of Sydney Grace as a whole. I mean, I really can't complain too much. I know people have their preferences and what texture they like: matte, shimmer, satin, multichrome, whatever, duochrome. But I mean, if you're not as picky and you love some texture and don't mind different finishes and you're not like an all matte person, I think this is gonna be the brand for you. Definitely try them out. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts. What do you think of these single eyeshadows? Does it make you want to buy any? Do you guys own any Sydney Grace? Do you have any palettes? Please comment below. Please click like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.